morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Fine.
Fine. Before we start, I want you to be attentive. And I'm hearing some children, there's a baby crying in the background. Remove those people near you and we concentrate. The other time I told you that after doing the work, the people who are near, every Friday, you are supposed to bring the work. I did not receive the work, and there were some people who are asking how to send work. We are going to show you how to do it today. All right?
Yes.
Those who are near here, if you know that you are within Soroti town, please you bring the work for marking
Very far.
at school. Those who are very far, we are going to send you the work. I mean, we're going to give you how to send the work. So get ready and be attentive. Now, the other time I gave you notes with pictures. Those pictures, don't draw them. You are just supposed to copy. Today, we have enough work. At least next week, we shall also look at some bit of RE. We have enough work. We want to do this so that we can finish the syllabus, so that when you come back here, we just go to P7 straight away. Amen?
Amen.
Now,
Amen.
today, we want to look at the politics of Uganda from 1952 up to today. We want to look at the politics of Uganda from 1952 up to today. You did it partly in P5, and we're going to look at part of it. Then you are going to do it this year, then next year, then again later. We're going to look at formation of political parties. In primary 5, you learned about the Legico of 1945, when some Ugandans were taken to the parliament. That was the British Parliament, the Legislative Council. And I remember I told you that there were 4. There was a man called, who can remind us, any person you know, who went to the Legico in 1945. We had a man called Yokonia Zirabamuzali. Then we had Petero Akiki Nyangaviaki. Yes? Agweo?
Kawalia
Kagwa. Then we had Yokosofat Inyoni. That was P5 work. Those were the first Africans to be taken to the parliament, to the Legico. They were the first Africans. Now, those Africans, as they were going there, they started learning certain things. So some Africans realized that the Europeans need to live here, as we looked at in Kenya. The other time we looked at what happened in Kenya, Mau Mau Rebellion, you saw. Now in our country here, there are not so many rebellions. So a group of people decided to form something called a political party. Now a political party, you have seen it there. A political party is a group of people with an aim of ruling a country. Whenever you hear that somebody has formed a political party, that person has intentions of ruling the country. Has intentions of ruling the country. Here, now, we have political parties. We have NRM, the National Resistance Movement, they are the ones ruling now. We have Forum for Democratic Change, They also want to rule. They are trying, but they have not got it. Then we have National Unity Platform, headed by Chagulanyi. They also want to rule. They want that seat there. We have Democratic Party, but we're going to look at how they started. So that's the example. So political parties were formed in Uganda here to unite people to fight for independence. Why were political parties formed, class?
Political parties were formed to unite people to fight independence.
Unite people to fight for independence. And if I was there, I would be one of the people. Maybe would have formed one of the political parties. It is only that I was not there, but I'm planning to have one. Mine will be Action Party. Action.
You're going to hang yourself.
So, in primary 5, you look at that guy. You have seen that gentleman?
Yes.
Ignatius Kangave Musazi. Called who?
Ignatius
Kanagwe Musazi.
Ignatius Kangave Musazi. He formed the first political party in 1950. That's 1950. That was a mistake. 1952. 1952. The first political party, 1952. You will correct that 1940 there. 1952. Which year?
1952.
1952. In 1952. That man was a Muganda, and his daughters, he left 3 daughters, and later, when I get time, I will tell you where they are. He did not have a boy. He formed the first political party. He had reasons. By that time, Africans were not allowed to export cash crops. They were not allowed to determine the price of cash crops. We were growing coffee, we were growing cotton, we were growing other cash crops, but Africans were not allowed to export these cash crops. And the only people who were allowed to do this were the British, the whites, or the whites and Indians. They were the only people who were allowed to do this. Was that really fair, if you are the one?
No. No.
It was very unfair. If I was the one, I would have risen up also to join Musazi to form a political party or fight. Personally, I was going to even get some liquid and squash them. He wanted Africans to have equal rights with whites and Indians. Can you imagine if an Indian was having more rights than the Africans who were here? That's why I told you that those houses you see in Sorot Town here, most of those houses were for Indians. Idi Amin Dada, as we're going to see later, said Allah told him in a dream that those people are milking a cow without giving the cow grass. So they are supposed to go back. Remember, I told you that those people came to construct the railway, the Indians, but after being paid their money, they started a business. So I mean, reason that which kind of vista is this? Who does not go back? Members, was I mean right or wrong?
Right.
It was
He
right.
was right.
By then, Africans were not allowed to export cash crops. So, on the 2nd of March, 1952, 2nd of March, 1952, 2nd of March, 1952, Ignatius Kangave Musazi formed the first political party in Uganda. Formed the first political party in Uganda on the 2nd of March. These political parties are supposed to be registered, and that's the day they registered it as the political party. And the political party is called what?
Uganda National Congress.
Uganda National Congress. Uganda National Congress. The first political party to be formed in Uganda, Uganda National Congress. What I want to tell you about that gentleman, I wanted to upload the photo you see, but later I will do it. Is that he's one of the people who is buried in Kololo Airstrip. His grave is there in Kololo Airstrip. Kololo Airstrip is a place where they bury important people. When I die, I will be buried there. Buried behind there in the important people are buried there. If you have done something very important, if you have done something now for you, what have you done?
What about you?
What have you done?
He formed the first political party in Uganda. Now, the party is called Uganda National Congress. Uganda National what?
Congress.
The National Congress, UNC, was formed by Ignatius Kangave
Musazi.
Now, reasons why he formed the political party. We have two reasons here, which I want you to see.
To demand for independence.
Demand for independence.
Number
to
two,
unite Africans. To unite Africans.
By independence. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
He had that Ugandan man called Musazi had an idea that all Ugandans should rise, should unite, and we make sure that we get independence. And that's what he did. The hero is a hero. He's one of the heroes. He's one of the heroes we have in Uganda here. A hero is a person who has done something important. Now, the second political party to be formed in Uganda here was called Democratic Party. Everybody?
Democratic
Democracy. As I told you that time, that democracy, that's what democracy means. The government of the people, by the people, and for the people. The government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That means that you are supposed to be elected by people, chosen by people. Then you're going to rule the people. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes. You will work with the people. With the democracy, you don't wake up one morning and say, me, I want to become a president. No, people are the ones who nominate you that, yeah? Now, for example, Namono, we want you to become a president. Then you accept. Oh. That's why even in Uganda, our president said the other time that for him, people love him. He's not the one, but people are the ones electing him. That is democracy.
Yeah.
So Democratic Party. Now, Democratic Party is there up to today. The party leader, the current party leader is there, we are going to see. It was formed by a man called Joseph Kasolo.
Joseph Kasolo. Joseph Kasolo.
Both of all these guys are Baganda. Why? Why they were the one involved? Some of them went to school. By that time, 1954, many of you here were hunting squirrels down there in Kaberamaido. Other people were doing what? Raising animals in the swamp there in Kapujani. Some people are already going to school. Together with educated. You know educated?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The thing was donating blood to educate. Now, Joseph Kasolo and Matayo Mugwanya, 1954, they formed political party. The current leader of political party is called Mr. Norbert Mao. Norbert Mao is a lawyer. He's an actually from Gulu. He's the party president. He's the party president for Democratic Party. The party president of the Democratic Party. The other time, when they contested, he tried, but he contested together with President Museveni, but he did not pass. They have been trying since 1954. The party is still there. 1954. So, reason why Democratic Party was formed, you see this reason carefully. This Democratic Party, what I want to tell you that it had some religious background. Somebody is talking in the background. I'm saying, let's look at this reason. The reason why the Democratic Party
You don't know. You don't know.
reason number one, to fight for equal representation of Catholics in the Luchiko
And
and
the government of Uganda.
This party has very many Catholics. They found out that the British, the people who took over the independence, what it was, as we are going to see, the British were coming from a Protestant country. So they wanted Catholics also to be included. The Luchiko is Uganda Parliament and the government of Uganda. Ever since independence, we've never had a president who's a Catholic. We have never had. Yes, Opul? Atieno? What do you say? Atieno?
Disturbing people. Nothing.
Okay. If you have nothing to do, don't do it here, okay? Fine. The third political party to be formed in Uganda.
Uganda People's
Congress. Uganda People's what?
Congress.
Uganda People's Congress was formed by the wise man, Dr. Apollo Milton Obote. This political party was formed in 1960. But the wise man, Dr. Apollo Milton Obote, was the founder. Obote, Apollo Milton Obote, was a Langi. He was a Langi from Akokoro. By that time, he was a member of the parliament representing Lango sub-region. He was elected as an MP in 1958. 1958. So, and he was the leader of opposition in the parliament. So Dr. Paul Milton Obote formed the UPC. The reason was to fight for independence. To fight for what?
Independence.
Fight for independence.
Election.
Fight for independence. And we're going to see what happened. So when they got organized, the British found out that we need to give these people independence and we go back. Like they did in Tanzania. Tanzania got independence before us. So the Tanzanians had already got independence. The colonial governor by them was called Walter Coates, who was the last colonial governor. So in 1961, they organized for an election. They organized for an election, pre-independence. They wanted to give them to try a trial. They rule and they see. During that election, 3 political parties took part. And you have seen the first political party there is called Kabaka Yeka. Everybody?
Kabaka Yeka. Kabaka Yeka.
What it means? Who can tell us what it means? Those who have some idea about Uganda. Kabaka Yeka means what?
Kabaka only.
Only Kabaka. Only Kabaka. No other person. Kabaka Yeka means only Kabaka. And that was the political party for Baganda. Kabaka Yeka. They wanted the Kabaka to be the president of the whole Uganda. Kabaka Yeka. Then Obote had his called Uganda People's Congress. Then Democratic Party was there by a man called Benedict Kiwanuka. According to you people, which party do you think won this election?
Democratic Party.
EP.
Democratic Party won. Those are the people who have P5 work. Democratic Party won the election. Democratic Party won that election. Democratic Party won that election. Now, the Democratic Party won the election and they got many members of the parliament, DPMPs to the parliament. More members of the parliament, and Benedict Kiwanuka was the leader of the Democratic Party by then. Now, Kiwanuka became the first prime minister of Uganda. During the self-internal government, it was not executive, 1 year. But Obote, who was a leader of opposition, now in Uganda, we have a leader of opposition. is coming from Nup. They are the ones who have more members of the parliament than other MPs. I mean, than other political parties. You know, the opposition. NRM has the largest number of MPs, followed by Nup. Now, Nup, the leader of opposition, is there in the parliament. Now, by then, Obote was the leader of opposition. So he raised a motion in the parliament claiming that other districts were not represented. It is very true that the voting took place only within Buganda Kingdom. Now, Obote claimed that Lango sub-region was not represented. The Cholis did not vote. The Iteso did not vote. Our brothers up here, the Karamojongs, did not vote. Personally, my grandfather did not vote in Toro there. The people West Nile did not vote. And because of that complaint, they suggested that an election should be held again. This one now to give independence. He complained that the election was not free and fair because other regions were not
involved.
Fully. Have you seen his reason?
Yes.
Was he right or he was wrong?
He was right.
He was very right. Otherwise, I was going to start another country this side.
Oh God.
So, the British government, which was guiding us, they organized for another election. They organized for another election, and that election was called independence election. Independence election.
Independence election.
In which year do you think this independence election took place?
1961.
Not in 1961. Another person?
1960.
The following year, 1962.
1962.
1962. The independence election, this election
In
was
Uganda
held
was held on
on
Wednesday.
Wednesday. It was a Wednesday, the 25th of April, 1962. Wednesday in April. That's the very year we got independence. I got one saying?
Yes.
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 1962. It was in April. In April. Now, members, who can tell me which party won this election?
Uganda people.
Uganda People's Congress.
Was Congress. And that's what Obote wanted. He told the Kabaka of Uganda that you come and we unite. UPC made an alliance. Uniting a political party is called forming an alliance. UPC formed an alliance with Kabaka Yeka. He told the Kabaka of Uganda that when we win, you will be the president. For me, I will become the prime minister. Are you seeing that? He was very wise. Then he told the Kabaka of Uganda, for you are a king. You just sit. Me, I'm going to go to other district. I'm going to go to other district campaigning for you. When he went around other district, going to other district, Kabaka was there in Uganda. For him, he was campaigning for himself. He was making himself popular. Kabaka was there in Uganda. He said, you remain there. Me, I'm going to go everywhere. So the Kabaka was very happy with him. So the Kabaka told the Baganda, let us unite with UPC, and we are ready. That's what the other time, you know, even the other election, Norbert Mao, who is the leader of BP, had requested other political parties that no, you people, let's come together. Let's combine other opposition parties so that we bring only two parties to contest with M7. They agreed, but when they agreed, do you know where the problem came in?
No.
They started asking, now who is going to be the president?
Yeah.
Who is going to be the president? If you are saying we combine, because everyone wants to become a president. Chagulani wants to become a president. Besigye wants to become a president.
Robert Mao.
The other man, there was this young man. It was called who?
Amuriat.
Amuriat wants to become the president. Then
Cholo.
Katuma.
Personally,
Katumba.
Cholo.
John
Katumba, Oye, you remember Katumba?
Yes.
Those guys asked, who is going to become them? They got confused like that. But if they had united, you never know. Don't you think they would have got something?
Yeah.
Now,
There are problems.
political parties that took part in that election, you look at the political parties. Political parties that took part in that election. Democratic Party was led by David
Democratic Party
Kumanuka.
was led by.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
He won the other time, he thought he was going to win again. Uganda People's Congress, led by Dr. Apollo Milton
By
Obote.
Dr. Apple Milton Obote.
Kabaka Yeka,
Kabaka Eka led
Led
by
by
Kabaka
Edward
Edward
Walugembe, Mutesa II.
Mutesa II.
Then, Kabaka Yeka and UPC,
And Uganda People's
they
Congress.
made an alliance.
An
I've
alliance
explained to you the
against-
meaning of alliance, okay?
Yes.
To combine.
Democratic
And at
Party.
school here, the other time I told some boy when they were contesting for head boy, I said, you live for this one, so that you come for, you combine your votes. The other one said, okay, for me, I'm going to become assistant. I'm going to convince people to give you votes. When one person stood alone, he was giving a lot of sweets here. He lost. When he lost, he almost collapsed. Just imagine, only just you can't be ready. You know the person?
Yes.
I tell you, the person is with us here. He's listening. I don't want to embarrass him. He's sitting in their sitting room, he might. Oh, Uganda People's Congress won the election, and Dr. Apollo Milton Obote became the first executive prime minister.
And
Then
Edward.
Edward Walugembe Mutesa II became the first president of Uganda. Have you seen what has happened there?
Yes.
There's a problem with that word, executive prime minister. Executive prime minister, it means that the prime minister has more powers than the president.
Who was
Are you seeing where the problem was started?
Yes.
Yes.
The prime minister has more powers than the
Than
president.
the president.
So the president, the other guy is the prime minister is the one who pays the president. Is the one who gives the president that now for you will only do this work and this one. The president is the one who appoints ministers, appoint governor of Bank of Uganda, in charge of police, the army. The prime minister, the president is only called when there is functions. On Independence Day, Labor Day, officers have come. He stays at his home. The prime minister is in the office.
His work is
You
to
see what
eat.
happened? So with the time, the president realized that he's almost useless. Even if he says something, no one listens. So he used that at home. Stay there at home. So I want to tell you something, that Obote and Mutesa were very great friends. They were very good friends. When Obote left Lango, he went to Busoga College, Muiri, for O level. When he was there, he came from a poor family. Mutesa is the son of a king. They were
A king.
rich. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they became great friends. Even during holidays, when they could meet in Kampala, most of the time, Obote stays at Mutesa's home because they have everything. So these two great friends, politics divided them. You see what's going to happen. Now, on that day, they were given instruments of powers. Instruments of powers, which is given to a president. Executive powers. The president never had executive powers. On Independence Day, you see, after election in April, the British organized a day in October to hand over the government to Ugandans. How many months are those? From April to October.
April, May, July, August, September, October.
Around 5 months. Around 5 months.
5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
In 5 months, they organized, they built a pavilion where people are going to sit in colored air strip. I was invited, me and my grandfather were there.
How old are you?
There, but they
How old are
only
you?
go to write my name. I said, okay. So will be biased. After all, time will come. So
How
Uganda
old
got
are you?
independence on Tuesday, 9th October, 1962 at midnight. Why at midnight? A new day starts at midnight. They never wanted to be seated even 1 minute. At exactly midnight, Uganda got independence, 9th October, Tuesday. So on Monday, people were invited from different parts of the country, and people were there. So you see what happened. Events of Independence Day.
Now,
Who's that?
Hello,
Nah,
who's that one
Mono.
laughing in a local way like that? You laugh in like somebody who went to school. You know when you laugh, then you keep quiet.
What's on the check?
That's for a boy. A girl, you are supposed to laugh. Then. Not laughing in a local way like cocodek, like a hen.
Iron monkey.
Now, look here. Queen Elizabeth of England, who is still ruling up to now, was represented by her son, Prince Edward. He's currently the Duke of Kent. He's still alive. He was supposed to be in that function, but she did not come. I don't know what happened. Maybe she had some headache or what, but all the same, she sent the son, Prince Edward. The Duke of Kent represented the British government. I represented the people of Tororo, of course. Then, Dr. Apollo Milton Obote was given instruments of power by the Duke of Kent to show that I wanted to put this picture and you see. Next time I will put it here and you see. Very, very, very beautiful. Very, very touching photograph. The picture when that guy was handing over. Dr. Apollo Milton Obote, on that day, Uganda National Anthem was sung for the first time, all the 3 stanzas. And the people who managed to sing it were just reading from the book. They were not well trained. They could not sing it very well. It was sung for the first time. It was like a church hymn. Even up to now, you imagine from 1962, there are people who cannot sing the national anthem. The other day I was seeing last year's Independence Day, they were interviewing some Boda men. A certain man sang, "Oh Uganda, made the holy wile Africa Chenyanja."
That was different uncle.
Up to now, the people cannot sing the national anthem. Secondly, I've told you that the anthem was sung for the first time. The Union Jack
Was lowered by
that was the British what?
the flag.
Union Jack was the British what?
Union
Flag.
The British flag is called Union Jack up to today. Was lowered by Sidney Small. Sidney Small was a British policeman in Uganda. He was working for an Uganda police. Was called Sidney Small, but it was not a small man. Don't think that maybe he was small. It was called Sidney Small. And the Uganda national flag was raised by Major Akorimo. All of us are Korimo Kanuti. This man is
Kanuti.
died last year. Oh yeah, he died last year in March. During that Corona time, the president was supposed to come for his burial, but one of these days after Corona, we are going to organize a national day to mourn Major Akori Mukanuti. He was very important. He left history in Uganda here. He left legacy. He's the one who raised the Uganda national flag. I was near him.
Yes.
I clapped for him when he was raising the
Teacher,
flag.
how many less can you give in one day?
Yeah. Now, instruments of power, which was given to Obote. They gave him a dummy key.
A dummy key.
A dummy key. There's a very big key, a very big long key like this. It's not the one that opens, but the symbol of authority for State House was given to Obote. That key is still there. It's now with Museveni. It's now with Museveni. If I get time, I'll go and pick it. Then I bring to Soroti. You see. Then was given the Constitution of Uganda. The Constitution of where?
Uganda.
Constitution of Uganda. It was given the national seal. This national seal is a small flag. It's supposed to be carried by a president. Whenever the president is traveling to another country, it's made out of golden. So when the president is seated somewhere, they put on the table. Ours, Idi Amin went with it. He stole it and went with it. He did not leave behind. We don't have it. Amin went with it. Went with it. Then it was given Uganda national flag. Okay? So those are instruments of power. They will ask you that which instruments of power were given to Dr. Paulo Milton Obote, Independence
The
Day.
national seal.
From the
Can you
socket.
mention them, number one?
A dummy key for State House.
Uh-huh.
The Constitution of Uganda.
Another one.
Uganda national seal. Uganda national flag.
So you can see that. Members, after independence,
In 1963.
you can see in 1963, Dr. Apollo Milton appointed the Chabazinga of Busoga, Wilberforce Nadiope as the vice president. The vice president was who?
Wilberforce Nadiope.
Wilberforce Nadiope. His grandson is the one who is ruling Busoga now. So in 1964, problems started in Uganda. Problems started. Some infighting started. Misunderstanding started between Dr. Paulo Milton Obote
and Kabaka Mutesa too.
Mutesa just brought in an idea that Obote should remove the capital city from Buganda soil. You know, Kampala is in Buganda. Let him take his capital city to Akokoro, because he was seeing that does not have powers. Mutesa, when Mutesa did that, Obote stopped him from hanging his portrait, his pictures in public office. They said we don't want again to see Mutesa the pictures. Like you can see President Museveni's pictures everywhere in his offices. They stopped that one. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then they went and made a constitution. They went and made a constitution, and that constitution was called Pigeon Hole Constitution. All of us?
Pigeon Hole Constitution.
You know pigeon?
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
Gibbon.
Pigeon Hole,
Right.
when you go to the post office, the hole where you put the letter, that hole is called a pigeon hole. Now, in the parliament, every MP, every member of the parliament has a pigeon hole. They have a box where they made a constitution, and they went and pushed in the pigeon holes of members of parliament. The pigeon hole constitution was made, which totally reduced the powers of Kabaka Mutesa. The little powers Mutesa had, it reduced totally. I'm telling you that it was called Pigeon Hole Constitution because the constitution was put in the pigeon holes. Copies were put in the pigeon holes of members of the parliament. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Now, Obote said that, Baganda, they really wanted a special status. They wanted to put themselves higher. So Obote brought in an idea that Uganda is for everybody. You can live and stay in any part of Uganda. The other constitution was saying that when you are in Uganda Kingdom, you are supposed to pay some money. If another tribe is going to Uganda or going to Kampala, you are supposed to first apply. You are supposed to have a document to allow you to enter Uganda Kingdom. So they made another constitution called the Republican Constitution. Can you say Republican?
Republican
A
Constitution.
republic is a country or a state under one president, one parliament, and one government. A republic is not supposed to have a kingdom.
Or a kingdom.
Are you seeing that?
Yes.
So they made that constitution called Republican Constitution in 1967. The Republican Constitution. Yes, Illumat? What do you say? I saw a hand up.
It was maybe by mistake.
What? Ah. Mujide, what are you saying? Mujide, Patricia?
I'm not hearing well.
You are not hearing well.
Yes.
That means there is a problem with the type of phone you are using. But this time I'm very clear. So you try to adjust your phone there, eh? Learn how to use it properly. Yes. So it is the problem is with your machine. Or you get another one.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Your ear. You can't understand now. Fine. In 1967,
Tabaka Edward.
another thing, if you are not hearing well, you need to be in a quiet place. You might be near a carpentry workshop or where they're grinding metals. You are not going to hear. Or if you are in the swamp, you can go and climb an anthill. Now, the Republican Constitution was made in 1967 and it abolished all kingdoms and chiefdoms in Uganda. That was the last nail on the coffin of chiefdoms and kingdoms in Uganda. They sent Idi Amin to go to the palace of Buganda Kingdom and he fought with the Buganda soldiers. They chased the Kabaka of Buganda. He ran from Uganda to Rwanda on foot. On foot, not using a vehicle. On foot. Uganda. Don't joke with Uganda. It's from Rwanda that he boarded a plane and went to England. That's why he stayed in exile until 1969. Died from there. In 1971, Idi Amin brought his body and was buried in Kasubi tombs. The kingdoms were abolished. His Museveni has brought it back. Dr. Amin, His Excellency, the President of Uganda, he has brought the kingdom back. But Obote said, our country is young, everybody should work very hard. Not somebody sitting there that I'm a king or I'm a chief or what. Members, was Obote right or wrong?
Was right.
Right.
That was right.
Right.
Now, he was very good at chasing his friends, but you see what's going to happen to him. He was the one chasing his friends. He has a lot of knowledge of twisting constitution, changing here, changing there. Something happened. His commander, his army commander, was called General Idi Amin Dada. That man is a Mahdi from Koboko. From Koboko. He was a black man. He fought in World War II. Tall, strong, very strong. he was a good fighter, although he did not know English, but he was a very good fighter. Amin Obote went for a Commonwealth conference in Singapore in 1971.
Yes.
Amin moved in all the barracks in Uganda. He informed the Baganda that he's going to bring back the kingdom. He convinced other tribes that you people, Obote is not organizing election from 1962. This man is going to rule up to when? From 1962. Amin convinced the people that Obote has ruled from 1962 to 1971 without organizing election. When is he going to organize election? So he said, no, we need to overthrow this man and we organize election. People accepted. Meanwhile, Obote was in Singapore, told him that your country, Uganda, the army commander has taken over the government. And Amin promised him, went to Radio Uganda, that if he lands in Entebbe, that will be the end of him. Obote did not come back. When he came, he just went to his friend in Tanzania, Nyerere. Remained there. So Amin became the president of Uganda. Uganda. I want to tell you that he's the one who expelled all the Indians. He did not bring back traditional kingdoms and chiefdom as he told them. He closed the parliament. He told the people that Allah has selected him as a God-chosen leader. Other people should go and concentrate on their work. So, Obote's government was overthrown by Amin on the 25th of February, 1971, when he was attending a Commonwealth meeting in Singapore. You see what happened?
Uganda for 8 years.
Rule Uganda for 8 years. Without organizing election, without what? You remember, for those of you who have watched the fall and the rise of Idi Amin Dada, many people died. Very many people ran away from Uganda. Very many people ran away from Uganda. He ruled Uganda for 8 years, and his government was characterized by a lot of killing. Now, Amin, where his problem came in, he extended the border, Uganda's border, to Kisumu. He said the colonialists cheated us. Why is our country smaller than Kenya and Tanzania? He extended it up to Mwanza beyond Lake Victoria. So he attacked Tanzania. So the Tanzanians started fighting him.
Yeah.
And it was a combined force. I mean, his government was overthrown. His government was overthrown on the 12th of April. Now what happened? He went on fighting, he fought. When he told the soldiers that I'm going to Jinja. From Jinja, he ran to Iganga. From Iganga, he went to Tororo. From Tororo, he went to Busia. From Busia, he went to Mbale.
Soroti.
From Mbale to Soroti. Staying in Soroti, he first went to Palisa and he talked. There's a radio station in Palisa there called Butebo. Talked from there, they bombed the radio station. He ran away. They had targeted him. Shortly, had he left, then the bomb landed there. He came to Soroti. He went to a radio station called Radio Dakabela. There was a radio station there called Radio Dochibela. It was a German radio station. Dakabela County at the county headquarters there.
Yes, I know.
He went there, started abusing Nyerere. They bombed the radio station. He missed the target, missed him. He went to Lira. From Lira, he went to Gulu. From Gulu, he went to Arua. From Arua, he went to their village. From their village to South Sudan. Then from South Sudan, he went to Saudi Arabia. Amin died from Saudi Arabia. His body has not been buried. Museveni refused to bring back the body. Remember, should his body be brought or should not be brought?
It should not be brought.
Should be brought.
It should be brought. He stole an aeroplane for Uganda.
Yes. And he did a lot. He left very many women and 60 children.
Oh my God.
Good.
That guy
That
was
man is serious. Need a job.
Activity. Need
he was
something.
replaced by President
Yeah,
Yusuf.
better job.
Yusuf who?
Lule.
Lule. Yusuf who?
Lule.
Play.
Who rules for 2 months?
Yusuf Lule.
Lule. Lule. There was a lot of confusion. He ruled only from, you see, from 12th April 1979 up to 19th of June, from April to June. April, June, 68 days was thrown away. It's confusing people. He was saying, what? He said, you man, you cannot manage, go away. Then, Lule was replaced by Godfrey Binaisa.
Godfrey Bisian.
Godfrey who? Lule was the Muganda, Binaisa was a Muganda. Lule was a lawyer, Binaisa was a lawyer. These were educated guys. Binaisa, the only problem is that these guys never had army. They were very educated, but they were not trained soldiers. Godfrey Binaisa came to power on the 19th of June, 1979. 19th of June, 1979, up to 5th of May. Around 6 months. Go away. Cannot manage. Now in 1980, they organized election. Members, listen here carefully. In 1980, they organized election. In that election of 1980, they put a neutral man called Paul Mwanga to first take care. Obote was in Tanzania. Museveni came in now. Museveni took part in this election of 1980. But he only got 1%. He was the last. Obote was representing Uganda People's Congress. Paul Kawanga Semogerere, Democratic Party. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Uganda People's Movement. Then Conservative Party was Mayanja Nkanji. Members, which party do you think won this election? According to you, there was DP, UPC, UPM by them, which changed to NRM, and the Conservative Party. Which party do you think won the election?
DPC.
DPC.
Yes. Which party do you think won this election?
DPC.
DP.
DP tried?
Yes.
I
DPC.
want to tell you that UPC won.
UPC.
Yes, Agweo.
URM.
Agweo Peter.
URM.
URM.
UPC won the election. Obote was in Tanzania. Remember that Tanzanian soldiers were the one fighting. The internet is a bit unstable, but
We can hear.
okay. Mugide? Mugide, Patricia? Patricia?
Mugide.
UPC. I'm saying that it's UPC.
UPC won the election. Obote came back to power for the second time. UPC won the election. UPC won the election. Now Museveni, you get me right? Yoweri
Yes.
Kaguta Museveni said the election was not fair and fair. He was cheated. He went to the bush. He said, I'm going to fight anybody that this election should be repeated. They said, we're not going to repeat the election. He went to the bush. He went to the what? The bush.
The bush.
Went to the what?
The bush.
The bush.
To where?
The bush.
It became a what? Members, it became a what?
A gorilla.
And
A rebel.
Lemon.
Became a rebel.
an elephant.
From 1980, are you seeing that? From
Yes.
1980, he went with 27 men to the bush and they started fighting the government. Obote ruled from 1980, 10th of December 1980 was sworn in as a president on 10th of December 1980. Up to 27th of July 1985, Obote's government was overthrown by one of his soldiers. Again, who can tell me the soldier? One of his soldiers. Again, who can tell me the soldier? Tito Okello was actually. His reasoning was that Obote had put a lot of Langese. He had put a lot of Langese and it promoted more, promoting more Langese than Acholis. So he overthrew the government. Now, Museveni was in the bush fighting. That became very simple for Museveni because it was hard for Museveni to remove Obote. Now, Tito Okello.
Yes.
Tito Okello, are you seeing that? For 5 years, have you seen?
Yes.
5 years again.
Yes. Yeah.
Tito Okello came to power on the 27th of July 1985.
1985.
He ruled only for less than 1 year. On the 26th of January 1986, his government was overthrown. 26th of January 19. Now, who do you think is coming to power?
Not 5. Museveni.
7.
Today.
He overthrew Tito Okello. It was very simple for him. 26th of January 1986. Up to today. Up to today. Those are 35 years. 35 years.
I wish I was my father.
Now, I want you to see. Their pictures are here. I want you to see this.
No.
This man. I think this man.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. 1966. No longer
Yes.
I think exactly Prime Minister.
Yes.
Yes.
Up to 1971. Was overthrown by Amin.
Idi Amin.
Dada.
Yes.
Are you seeing the ranks everywhere? Everywhere. Field marshal. Everywhere. Then,
Dangerous
what
Black
about
African.
Lule. I think Lule.
Yes. Yes.
After Lule.
Yes.
Yeah.
This bald-headed man. Then he called Mwanga 1980, organized for the election. Then Obote back for the second time. Are you seeing?
Yes.
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 Then Tito Okello. Then after Tito Okello,
The only man.
up to today.
Roast.
But who do you think is coming next?
I'm fat.
Amuriat.
Atumba.
Atumba?
It's Bobby Wine.
Otumba.
Atumba.
It's Bobby Wine.
Members, political parties in Uganda today. Look at these political parties today.
Democratic Party.
Democratic Party. Can we read them? Democratic Party. Can we read them?
Democratic Party. Nationalist Movement. Justice for People's Progressive Party.
People's Congress.
Alliance for National Transformation.
All those people.
Alliance for
Stop here.
National Transformation.
All those people you see, all those parties you see, once to rule Uganda. All of
Yes,
them.
people power.
People power. People power is called National Unity Platform. People
Yes.
power it is called
Is
National
there?
Unity Platform. Group. They all want to rule Uganda.
Rule.
I'm going to form mine. I told you before. Mine is going to be Action Party.
Ticholo rule.
I'll be your soldier.
Lastly, get one vote.
I'll be your soldier.
And the motto will be no corruption. No what?
Corruption.
Prime Minister.
No
I'll
corruption.
be your commander.
And every
Be
child,
your body.
at least all the children of Uganda, at least 2 eggs. 2 boiled eggs at least daily.
Teacher, I want to be assistant.
Assistant. So,
I want to
the
be
work
Prime
is here,
Minister.
and we're going to.
To be a man.
We have been here for 1 hour talking. We're going to the answers for these questions. The work is very clear. You will just go and copy them. Then you answer these questions. The questions are down here.
Okay.
Questions are down here.
Okay.
It has been very clear. Unless you have something to ask.
No.
The political party, I told you, is a group of people
The first political party in Uganda.
with an aim of ruling a country.
Aye.
The first political party in Uganda, you see, Uganda National Congress.
Platform.
I want to congratulate because very soon we shall give you some exam. Next week, I'll organize and we have at least one RSC. I'll give you some exam. Next week, I'll organize and we have at least one RSC lesson. Yeah. So I want you to, before that, you can say bye. I want you to say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Bye, 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 bye,
Bye.
Bye now.
bye, 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 bye.
Good night.